Greetings, parents. Welcome to the latest episode of Principals Podcast. And we are looking now, we've had the opportunity to share proposals and get feedback. We're looking at what the Year 11 day is going to look like next year. Before we start, we remind ourselves of our values. Say we are a values-led organisation. They're not just words on a wall, they mean something to us. So courage, ambition, respect, and excellence. And everything we do as a school is designed to help reinforce these care values. In addition to linking to our three strategic anchors. So everything we do serves to improve the culture and climate of the school, making sure the feel and the behaviour of the entire school and the community is what students and parents and staff deserve it to be. Leadership and development, making sure all people within the school community have an opportunity to improve as an individual. And the third one is entitlement and delivery, making sure our offer is what our young people, your children, our collective children are entitled to. So the original school proposal that I shared 2 or 3 weeks ago had the school day starting at 8:40 instead of 8:30 and mandatory period 6 intervention every day for year 11, which the whole point obviously is to make sure that it's increased teacher contact time and entirely designed to help them improve their outcomes because we know how important they are in later life. And whilst every day would have intervention, the earlier they would finish earlier on a Friday compared to the rest of the week. So that was the original proposal. A reminder why, for us, this is really important. So recent huge educational study done last year shows that exam performance at age 16 counts for almost 20% of the variance, essentially in what comes in later life. And this is even more profound from pupils for a lower income family. And ultimately that accounts for almost half of the families we serve as a school. So this is something that's really important. We know the importance of securing good outcomes and making sure year 11 is as good as it can be. So if we know that, it's our duty, it's my duty, it's my job, it's our school's job to set our children up for success and provide every opportunity for them to do so. Lots of the most successful schools already do this. If our children do not do this, then essentially they're falling behind. And I can't ever envisage a circumstance where our kids' entitlement is less than at other schools, including schools that you have to pay to attend. So it's what our kids are entitled to if it's what happens at the best schools in the country. Our students, our families, our community deserves the same. Local schools are increasingly starting to do this. So I already know schools within the county, within the city of Derby and Nottingham that have this in place. And they're the students that our students are in competition with for sixth form places, for college places, for apprenticeships. We can't afford for our kids to fall behind. Current intervention attendance is typically poor. And, this proposal would guarantee more time with subject teachers. The main feedback, and we had 26%, is either 24 or 26% of parents responded, and actually some really brilliant, thoughtful responses. But every aspect of the proposal did divide opinion. We do have parents that absolutely appreciate what we're trying to do and think it's a great idea and think it just makes sense. But we've also got parents that are not supporting of the proposal and some of the active ingredients within that. So I already know that whichever decision I'm going to take, I'm not going to please everyone all of the time. So ultimately I have to make a call that I think is for the good of our school community and the students that I'm responsible for. The main issues raised in feedback is actually the later start time can create additional issues when it comes to traffic, collection of siblings. A few year 11s leave to go and collect siblings and help out their families, which I do completely understand. And the impact on out of school enrichment. So some of our students get involved in things, and if they've got to stay here later, then they can't get to where they need to for 4 o'clock on a Tuesday, let's say. The early Friday finish actually isn't earlier than what time they finish now. And how would detention length impact on this? Because parents didn't want students staying at school till really late, obviously, which I think is absolutely fair. And detentions would not finish any later than the latest detention finishes now. But year 11s tend not to get detentions, and because they're so focused on their outcomes, I don't consider it to be a significant issue. But no detention will exceed the 4:30 limit that we currently have in place. So we've taken all that feedback, and hopefully you appreciate the fact that, you know, I know with consultations, some people think, well, they've already decided what they're going to do, so what's the point? I don't work like that. I generally want your feedback. I generally want your insights. And because of that feedback and because of those insights, I have made some changes compared to our original proposal. Some of them might not go far enough for some parents. I accept that, but hopefully you know that I'm coming at this trying to do right by our school community and doing what we think is right as an educational establishment. So the school day will start at 8:35 instead of the proposed 8:40, so there's only a slight difference there. Intervention and the extended day will now be Monday to Thursday, not every single day, and students will have an earlier finish on a Friday, and that will be at 14:35 with no intervention after that. Okay, so to reward students for their hard work during the week, we want to give them a carrot to look forward to at the end of the week. It's really good for student relaxation as well, and mental health and well-being. So we think this is a stronger proposal that we put out to start with, and that is in direct response to parental feedback. So thank you very much for providing. So just a reminder, school day to start 5 minutes later. Intervention will be Monday to Thursday, and earlier finish on Friday, the same for the whole school, no exception for year 11. And the timings are included in there. So you will finish at 15:55 Monday to Wednesday, 15:35 on a Thursday, so it ramps down, and 14:55 on a Friday. So it does ramp down throughout the week. So we work hard at the start and then work down. Our offer is still going to remain the same. So more contact time with subject specialists, bespoke intervention, regular reward, trip access. We're going to try and sort a revision residential trip close to exams as well. Holiday intervention, revision opportunities, meaningful homework, but limited homework because of the extra time. It's going to be short, sharp, and to the point. And I am going to guarantee a half-price prom ticket, but I am working towards making that free as a reward for student sacrifice throughout the year. Okay, so final thing to say on that is, if students do things outside of school and they are regular, say every Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and these new timings impact that, there will be a mechanism in place for students to apply for dispensation. So on these days, at certain times, they can leave to engage in extracurricular activities outside of school if these changes directly impact students' attendance to those pre-existing activities. There is a link in the letter, so if you've got any further questions or queries around the logistics, please put it in the form. I'm going to personally look at every single one and collate all the information into a frequently asked questions type document. These places will come into week, not the first week kids are back, but the second week, which will be Monday, the 9th of September. And a huge thank you again from me for engaging in this consultation and providing feedback. Hopefully you can see that I have listened and I've tried to compromise where I can. But ultimately, I have to do what I think is for the good of our students from an educational point of view. And I know full well you'll expect that, because all of you want your students and your young people to succeed and do well as well. So thank you very much in advance, and I look forward to seeing and talking to you all very soon.